Leanne, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, there's a lot of excitement here at the moment because some people are going to be getting bursaries to study further and get into tertiary education. You heard earlier on 38,000 bachelor passes in the province of Gauteng. And the big question, of course, is for those that can't afford it but have achieved, what next? Well, Gauteng has got a solution to that. And to take us through that is the Premier and the MEC. MEC Barbara Creasy, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Premier, MEC, tell us, why are we here and why should these young people be excited?
Okay. Morning, Peter. Well, I think what we're very excited about this morning is that the Gauteng Provincial Government is going to be giving out 1,126 bursaries for university studies this morning. We are also giving out 1,600 bursaries for FET colleges. And all of the recipients of these bursaries are high-performing learners from our no-fee schools. And each of our no-fee secondary schools in the province has been allocated 3 bursaries, and those 3 bursaries go to the top-performing learners in those schools.
All right, so shall we announce the students that are representing all of those bursary winners, because we can't have all of them up onto the stage. Do you want to just announce them and let's see them and bring them up on stage?
Yes, Peter. We've got Khumutom Twazi and Sfiso Mbele. They are going to be handed over a check. This is a check that goes to all of them.
All right, so congratulations to these 2 young people who are representing the more than 12,000 students going into universities and 1,600 that are going to FET colleges who are going to be receiving these awards to take them through their university education. So let's give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Well done.
Thanks. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Mom.
All right. Well done to you all. Congratulations and well done. And I guess really what this represents is the achievements that they've made in the last 12 years. They've studied diligently, and hanging over them was always this issue of how is it they're going to be able to afford tertiary education. And Premier, I guess this is, as you were saying in your speech, what this is all about is to make sure that finance isn't the thing that holds them back.
Not in Gauteng. Finance is not an issue that must hold back our learners, but also hard work also is being rewarded through this that we are doing. As we have seen here today, we issued the check of 180, but we already have an additional 280 million that is in the pipeline that is also going to be disbursed for the learners here in Gauteng who are coming from our schools. The important thing is that we know that we have challenges of inequality, of unemployment, and poverty. And if we want to really break the back of inequality, we have to invest in education. And that's what we are doing. And when we started in 2009, it was like we're crazy. But we felt our responsibility doesn't end in grade 12. If we have invested, we must then take them through. And hence, you'll have some of them here today who can tell you that life is better being a resident of Gauteng.
Okay. MEC Barbara Creasy, just your thoughts on these bursaries and what kind of a difference that you've seen them make. We'll get it from the horse's mouth and some of the students shortly, but just share with us the vision that you had and where we are now in terms of these bursaries. Have they really made a difference?
Well, I think as Premier has said, our real aim with these bursaries was to target the no-fee schools. And first of all, obviously, to make sure that family background was not a barrier to tertiary education. Secondly, of course, we know that we have a skills shortage in this province, and what we were very keen to do was to reward learners, particularly those learners that would be doing subjects like maths, science, technology, all of those subjects that we know are desperately needed in the skills sector of our economy. But we were also concerned to make sure that those who were awarded the bursaries survived university life, because we all know that once you leave the school environment, university, there's lots of partying, it can be lots of fun. And what we've set up in this system is a buddy system. So those who have gone before mentor those who are coming in. And I think what we're very excited about is the very, very low dropout rate we have from this bursary program. And as Premier said earlier, almost over 12,500 of those who started have actually remained in the system, half of them having already graduated.
All right, we'll unpack that a bit further, especially listening to the students themselves. But Premier, some of them have graduated, 6,000 odd already. Is the Gauteng economy able to absorb them once they finish studying? Once they've got their skills, are they getting jobs?
We've created an enabling environment. Business must come to the party, and business must be able to absorb the skills that we have created to grow the economy. And definitely, remember, these are the learners who have done well in maths, science, accounting, and so on. So there is no excuse. What government does must actually be complemented by the private sector. In terms of what we are doing as government, yes, as we speak today, we've got a number of those who have done engineering already being placed in our various departments, the Department of Infrastructure, the Department of Human Settlement, but we've also had our sitters coming to the party, as well as some business institutions and SOEs through the Gauteng City Region Academy. One of its own, again, that helps to make sure that we partner with institutions of higher learning, but also we partner with the private sector. But I think business can do more.
MEC, 38,000 bachelor passes. We have 1,200 plus 1,600 going to FET colleges. A huge contribution to their lives. What do we do about the next layer that perhaps weren't the top achievers in their school, but are also needing to find funding? How are we going to help them, because they represent the lion's share of the challenge?
Look, clearly the Department of Further and Higher Education are offering a range of bursaries, and they will take up some of those learners. But I think that we're making a big plea to the private sector to come on board. We all know that it's absolutely crucial for the long-term future of our economy to get more of these young people into tertiary education. We were given the mandate to turn them off the press. We are doing that now. And we really want to call on the private sector, but also individual citizens. I think that one of the things we know, those of us who have the privilege of a university education, is that we may have paid some portion of the fees, but the major portion is in fact paid by the state. And that places an onus on each of us to give back. And so my challenge to ordinary citizens who have a university education is put one child through university. It will make the most enormous difference to that child and to their families. But for you, it's a way you can give back for all that you've received in the course of your life.
All right, we're going to go to the floor just now, but this issue keeps coming up. We're celebrating these successes and these passes. Are we giving them a quality education? And what challenges still remain to overcome so that they can go to any university anywhere in the world, or if they're not getting bachelor passes, that the next layer is a qualification as well that will empower them to either find work or to study further?
I think we've been harping too much on the 30%. These learners, these kids who have now got a bachelor's pass didn't get 30%. Some of them have got 5, 8, distinctions out of hard work. And the issue of quality can be measured through the kind of performance that they have made. And it has happened because of the commitment of the educator. The educator that has also come on board in terms of being retrained, reorientated, as well as the support that exists in the schooling environment, but also the quality of what is being provided to the learner and the cooperation of the learner. We have moved, and I think we're moving beyond the quantity, but we see quantity and quality going together, and hence the successes. If you're going to have a learner from Ivory Park, just imagine, beating everybody, including from the private schools. That for me, with the distinctions that he got, indicates that we've got a number of committed educators, we've got committed learners, and we've got parents who are very supportive, and a government that is caring. So the entire value chain is important, and it can, for me, all that combined can actually reflect what we call quality. And I think it's just cynics who are beginning to ask the issue of quality in some instances, because today it is not about them, but it is also a disregard of the efforts and hard work that educators and learners have made.
All right, so MEC, when we benchmark this Matric, is it competitive? And then the other thing, which is really important, is what do we do with the kids that start grade 1 but don't make it to grade 12? And I believe also there's quite a high number, particularly sort of 9 to 12, that start to fall off the radar a little bit. What do we do about them? Because they're part actually of the ones that we don't register when we're doing the pass rate.
Well, I think you know that the Minister has announced the fact that there is a committee currently looking at the Matric pass, and has already done significant work in terms of benchmarking it against school exit processes in other parts of the world. And I think we're all looking forward to the outcome of that study. Gauteng has the best flow-through rate in the country. Somewhere between 65 and 68% of those who start in grade 1 reach Matric. Last year we did research. What happens to the other 35%? And we found half of them actually are still in the education system. So the 65% are those who make it through in 12 years. Others may also make it through, but they may repeat a grade. So they are still in the system. We then found that of the remainder that exit, half again are in other educational institutions. So although we don't want any child in Gauteng to be not in employment, education, training or work, we can say with confidence from the research that we've done that only about 8% are falling through the cracks in totality. Our aim through our career education program, which we now target grades 8 and 9, is to say to young people, if you feel that reaching Matric is not for you, don't drop out. Go to an FET college from grade 10.
Okay, all right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to hear from the floor and from you at home. So let's talk education, celebrate, but also discuss the challenges. All of that still to come.